corner selling fruit cocktails. Rock-a-robin, sweet, swirly. Rock-a-robin, sweet, swirly.
I am from a hub of creation and disaster. A village of tribes defined by their colors, humidity of New York air resembling that of a jungle, wilderness still sticking to our skin even though we are part of a civilization,
causing groups of young men to fight like lions and tigers.
Vendetta written across their hearts, trying to be kings of a jungle book that ultimately has no happy ending.
Standing eerily on familiar grounds. Where I come from, police officers and people of color are enemies fighting a war of circumstance.
I wish my friends understood that sometimes the way to change the system is to educate yourself and become a part of it.
And I wish some police officers understood that just because you have some authority in a community doesn't mean you aren't a part of it.
Bottoms planted on steps of brown staircases, watered by urine.
Earthquakes of hip-hop beats tearing through windows and minds.
I'm still Jenny from the block. Hey.
Where we know,
hey.
Jenny ain't even from the block.
Heartbeats can only sing for so long when you're running pavements, treadmills. Cigarette smoke tickling kids' lungs and they forget to breathe correctly. My culture is cemented into these blocks.
Our pride hung on telephone wires like shoestrings. Puerto Rican flags waving proudly in El Barrio, reminding the youth of the bloodshed by indigenous and West African people.
We are victims of colonization.
Gentrifying our stomping grounds so that they look less like our islands and more like blank canvases of history we never had, of colors that aren't our own.
No room for breathing in subway trains, but plenty of room for breakdancing on sidewalks to the drums of your faces that scratch pavements like cats.
Art fertilizers are the roses that grow from concrete.
We live in a society forgetting its own value and would be doing ourselves a disservice to indulge in the status quo. Together we are better.
When we accept our homes for what they are but work towards progression.
We are better together when we use art as a platform for change. When we learn to appreciate each other's unique role in the community. When we unify rather than divide.
Youthful eyes shine like city traffic lights.
Immigrant families packed into two-room apartments trying to pave the way for their children.
Teenagers running to catch buses during early morning rush hours so they aren't late to school. Because where we come from, we are taught that education is life support.
That sometimes life comes without support.
That confidence is just as important as humbleness.
That selflessness is just as important as selfishness.
That it isn't the pace at which you finish, but that you finish the race.
I was my own obstacle to my success.
Once I stopped internalizing my melanin as the problem rather than my mindset, I realized
we are better together.
Depleting our worth will only allow others to feel superior.
We realized that the only way out of the margin we were placed into at birth was straight through.
Expected to only reach a certain caliber of success, we surpass all expectations. We choose not to cling on to the fact that we were the kids with the public school education.
We became lost trying to find our crown.
But it is only through teamwork that we may uplift one another enough to uncover our royalty. There's a need to forget to remember.
We forget to remember our blackness matters.
So we drink our skin.
And continue to make excuses for why we are a nation that's divided.
While we find ourselves being more critical than the critics we tirelessly try to impress.
Old Uncle
Sam wasn't me no man. Can't have our freedom till everyone can. In our history classes,
we are taught to
regurgitate information from a textbook instead of discovering controversy and becoming passionate about it.
We are taught to be patriotic.
But how dare you try to tell me that Uncle Sam and I related? That he acted as a brother to the men in our families?
That he protected our women? That he treated us like family?
I want to know why classical literature is stuck in its first stages of birth. Faces of Shakespeare and Emily Dickinson that we're encouraged to use as analysis in class. Yet we are not well-versed on.
Alice Walker,
Richard Wright,
or Jesus Colon.
As if reading things by people that resemble us will make us more likely to rebel.
More likely to know our worth.
Less likely to listen to people trying to demand us to think robotically.
I will never forget the feeling of satisfaction I had when I sat in a literature class and was given The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. In those moments, I felt history recreating itself in my veins.
My whole life, I've been trying to reason my way through the injustices I've been dealt, only to realize my story had not made the cut where it mattered most to me.
We are better together when our education is a reflection of our culture.
When we take time to listen to one another.
When we have an open dialogue about our differences.
When we create a platform for solutions.
We are better together when we understand
that diversity exists beyond race.
we understand that before we are teachers and students, we are people.
That our voices have the power to create change.
And that our presence on this